any friends. I don't see any friends out here. I see lying, backstabbing pricks out here. That's what I see. I mean, you are the very reason why I'm not going to associate myself with friends anymore. You're the reason. Now, in fact, I'm going to associate myself with a real, I don't, somebody help me out here. A real asshole.
Mr. Anderson?
Asshole! Wow. Yeah, I just went there, folks. And we ain't done yet. It's time to go to the west side. Let's get it going. Ladies and gentlemen. Oh, God. It feels like we were just here. Was it not, Reese?
Yeah, it did feel that way.
It just goes in one ear and out the other. But, folks, finally, after multiple divisions, after multiple shenanigans, I finally get to wear my colors for a change as we talk about the infamous let me get my channel, my inner cool mode D on this one. The Wild Wild West. The Wild Wild West. Yes, folks, we have arrived to the West divisions, the fall divisions of our series as we prepare for the aftermath, which will be premiering in 2 weeks. And I am giddy. 3 weeks actually, I believe. September 12th?
Yeah.
I'm giddy with excitement. My kid is giddy with excitement. That's how big this is. Like, we have put the West where they belong. In the driver's seat, in the spotlight. Because we are talking about the AFC West, home of the reigning, defending, undefeated undisputed Super Bowl champions of the world, the Kansas City Chiefs. And just because I did it, and I know I did it, I am sorry, Reese. I am so sorry about this because you know what's coming. You know what's coming because you already know which team we're talking about. You know what we're talking about. So because
Actually, we're switching tonight.
You're switching?
Yep.
You're gonna go to.
You know what? I'm actually going NFC this time.
What? Isn't it? This. I had this all prepped and lined up and ready to go, and I'm like, oh, come on. Okay. You know what? I'm not even gonna hold that against you guys. Of course, we had to shake it up a little bit because people were saying going with this one, and we know that Don Juan will be coming to join us momentarily. So, because of that, we are going to go to. Well, if we're going to talk about the NFC West,
yeah,
we're going to talk about them first. If you are set,
you know who we're
I'll talk about
going
them. You know who? There's a little snippet that we missed because you decided to say here and go to the NFC West first. Yeah. Well, I have to do this. Oh, what? Come on! You know what? No, we're not. No, we're not. We're not doing that. No, not gonna happen. Not on my watch. Not on my watch. We're going to do this just right. So, folks, for the first time ever, we're going to actually do what we like to call a share. So, here you go.
That's what chiseled. So.
Yep.
And loved them premiums, right?
Like, when did 749ers fans become LA fans? Like, what the hell?
Happens.
Bad news. Punch.
Yep. Well, after they were fighting their way through this one, yeah, speaking of fights that they're gonna have to deal with, let's see how they have to fight through this let's see how they have to fight through this regular season. That's still good.
Fuck them kids.
Damn. Hold my nuggets.
Suck my dick! Oh, 2, 3, 4. Oh! And that has hurt. Oh! He should have been unconscious at this point.
Yep. You know what? That one was almost worthy of something. Man.
How? Oh my God. Oh.
Wait a minute.
Washing machine build security guard. What?
up, Don Juan.
I bet you like a kick out of this one, Don Juan.
Yep.
Or one with the. How are you staring when you just got knocked out, fool?
Yep. Damn. Man, it looks like he spent like a Saturday night in Dublin.
This is like a normal Sunday night at Sundance State Bar Saloon in Fort Collins. This is literally the epitome of a hoedown and a hootenanny.
Or if the hoedown was like a childcare where she'd be a hooter nanny.
Here's the part I can't figure out in my head. How did this happen? Like, this is preseason. This is preseason. And we got Niners fans acting like LA fans, beating the lowly lowlifes out of each other.
You know what? Yeah. Let's see if mine will play. But, that clip only deserved one thing to do. Even though I'll be a day late playing it, but...
Regular season prices? Is that what it is?
You got knocked the fuck out.
And this is
You got knocked the fuck out.
we can understand where everybody's coming from. We know how basically we are all about basically the censorship and everything else. But come on now. Like, what the ish just happened? That is how big the NFC West is. And this year, it's different. Because Trey Lance is gone. So now the ball is completely in Brock Purdy's court. It is in Brock Purdy's court. I want you to understand how big this is in any capacity. Because of the fact that Brock Purdy now has the opportunity to actually sit here and add to his infamous undefeated streak. That's what gets everybody going. This is the part that everybody should pay attention. We were going to talk about the AFC West. We were. But, Don Juan, apologies.
Yep.
Reese switched it up on me, which I'm good with because I got the man, the myth, the legend. I got the greatest around my shoulders, on my back. I got him right here. I got the man.
There's a reason why, too, because it is Trey Lance, and actually, there's another reason why, but all right, let's get into it. 49ers schedule. Yeah,
oh, boy. Here we go.
And this one doesn't even look favorable to start with.
The Brock Purdy show begins in Pittsburgh.
Go to Pittsburgh to play the Steelers. Go to LA to play the Rams. Come back for a Thursday nighter at home against the Giants. And all right, well, this part's actually favorable.
I say 2-2. I'll just put it like this:
Cowboys.
It's 2-2. I'll say 3-2. I say that they will beat the Steelers. They will beat the Cardinals, and they'll beat the Cowboys again.
Yeah.
As Cowboys fans know full well, that's exactly how it's going to work. But I don't see them being a healthy, well-bamped, pissed-off Rams team. I don't see them beating them. I don't even see them beating the Giants, because the Giants are the same team that sat here and actually went to Minnesota and shut Justin Jefferson down. I'm saying 3-2, and that's a gift. The only game that matters to me, as much as I am wearing these colors, is they beat the Cowboys. I want them to beat the Cowboys so bad that even my wife will sit here and go into some kind of weird hole that I will have to dig up in the backyard and stick her head in. That is how bad I want the Niners to beat the Cowboys. That is accurate. That is about the most accurate thing I can sit here and honestly say with a smile on my face and a tear in my eye.
Yeah. Thank you, Nate. Yeah. All right.
Wait, hold on. Oh, what was that? McCaffrey and Sam. It's okay. Okay. Here's the thing. I'm not scared of McCaffrey the way I was when he was younger and was in Carolina. Because when he was in Carolina, he was the offense. But the fact is that he has to share the load with Debo. This fool can't throw. Let's put it like this. The fool can't throw. He got the chance to sit here and throw in that NFC Championship game, and that was about as literally as pathetic as, well, any game that the Niners had prior to Brock Purdy. And Debo was looking at it this way. In his head, it's Super Bowl or bust, without question. It's Super Bowl or bust with him. So when I look at it, if the Niners ain't making the Super Bowl, he's gone. Sorry, not sorry.
Yep. All right. Then after that, then they go to Cleveland to play the Browns. Then they have a Monday nighter in Minnesota against Vikings, and then they're home against the Bengals before their bye week.
I say they should beat the Browns. They should have a tight one with the Vikings, but there's a part of me that's kind of thinking that maybe Kirk Cousins is listening. But I'm going to take the Niners. But I feel like the Bengals will actually beat the Niners. I feel like Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase will own this defense of the Niners. So I will say the Bengals beat the Niners before the bye week.
Yeah, I'm seeing sophomore slump right here. And
Facts.
yeah.
Oh, Kittle.
The Skittle.
He brought George Kittle in this, man.
I can't hate up on Kittle because
no, you can't.
Beat up on because he did beat up on bum ass Corbin, so I got to give him that one.
Hey, I'm good with that.
Well, with
Love you, honey.
Mac was in the match. Kittle.
No. Let me wrong. I'm good with him basically, Kittle beat up on bum ass Corbin. Don't give me that. But the fact is that they make George Kittle seem like the best thing since sliced bread. Let me put it like this. If George Kittle was the best thing since sliced bread, he would already be a Super Bowl champion. No, it's right here. This, the Niners do not have since the 90s. So as far as I'm concerned, until they actually do one, I don't want to hear nothing about how good the 49ers are. Because the fact is that they were that good, they would have beat Dallas, they would have beat Philly. They beat Dallas, and then they choke in Philly. And you want to know who to blame for that? Who I blame for that? Joey Bosa. Not Nick. Joey. I blame that sorry, worthless sack from San Diego or LA or wherever flipping backwoods he's from. I blame that Jack for that one. Because the fact is that if Joey Bosa had shown up to that game, maybe, just maybe, Nick Bosa will be able to go in there and just slap some piss on some mouths. But he didn't do that. 49ers got their chains snatched like they were Debo in the NFC Championship game. So as far as all the pressure in that division is on the Niners. They got rid of Jimmy G. They just traded Trey Lance. And all they have is Brock Purdy and Sam Darnold. Darnold sees ghosts. Brock Purdy sees everything. But is Brock Purdy going to be that guy when all the pressure is on him? They should have got rid of Kyle Shanahan when they had the chance. But they chose not to. So I'm not going to feel bad for the Niners when they come up. They stop short of the division.
Yeah. So what you're saying is, hold on, if I can sort of pull a Russell Wilson within this one, you're saying Brock Purdy is going to be irrelevant.
Irrelevant diarrhea. Irrelevant. That's how it's going to be.
All right, then Niners after the bye week go to Jacksonville. Then they host Tampa Bay. Then spend Thanksgiving in Seattle. Then they go to the NFC Championship rematch. Yeah, it's one of them type.
I had a moment. I had a moment, and it just went to ish. I don't even know what the hell to call it. So let's take a look at this one. So they had the bye week, and they go to the Jaguars. I feel like Trevor Lawrence is going to do what Trevor Lawrence does. I feel like Jacksonville will beat the Niners. I feel like the Niners will bounce back and actually beat the Bucks. Then they'll turn around. They'll actually. You know what? I trust Mark Purdy more than I trust Geno Smith, so I'm actually going to say that Seattle's going to lose this game. But beating the Eagles the second time, yeah, no. I'm sorry. Eagles, even without a quarter of their team, the Eagles still look damn good. So I'm going to go Eagles. I'm going to go Eagles to win that rematch.
Yep.
And then the Seahawks, yeah, no. I got nothing. I got nothing on that one. That's just that one. It's just
I'll sweep.
Yeah.
All right. Then they go to Arizona. Then they're home for Christmas against the Ravens. Then they go to DC for New Year's Eve, and then finish off at home against the Rams.
Well, everybody needs a good losing streak. Take a wild guess on who's going to have the losing streak. I see the Niners losing to the Ravens. Hell, I even say they will lose to the Commanders. They'll beat the Cardinals, but they're going to lose. I say the Rams are going to sweep it. I say the Rams are going to sweep. And as much as Debo is that guy, it doesn't take much for Debo to get got. And the fact is that Debo Samuel has this one small, tiny little problem. He's got a chip on his shoulder. And he's come to realize that the Niners have been that team that has sat here and given not one, but two of the last two NFC representatives of the Super Bowl. I feel like there's going to be a three-peat. I feel like the Niners are going to be the ones that give that three-peat.
Yep. All right, but then again, I was like, yeah, they had the best run defense last year, but yeah, I think they took some L's on it this year. Anyway, let's head up to the 12th man. Yep, going to the home of. Yep, we ain't going to Tony Luke's, ain't going to Pat's, ain't going to Jim's. We going to Geno's. Yeah. Unfortunately, I wish I had a cheesesteak with me right about now, but yeah, well. Seahawks, you're on the clock.
It's not that hard to sit here and give you a damn cheesesteak. All you gotta do is sit here and just leave Carolina and go to Philadelphia and just go home to Philadelphia. Like, it's not that hard, bruh.
That is true. Yeah. Well, then again, that depends on like what they're doing with 95 these days. But
really, okay, fair enough. No. Actually, I will be fair on that because I haven't had a damn Philly cheesesteak in about a few years, and quite frankly, I need one. That being said.
All right, let's take a look at how the Seahawks are kicking off their season. All right, they're hosting the Rams, going to Detroit, hosting the Panthers, and then have a Monday night at the Giants before their bye week.
I said they're going to lose their first game. And again, I'm not picking the Rams to sit here and go undefeated, but this is a hungrier Rams team. AD is healthy. Stafford is healthy. No, I love to be able to sit here and say that, but no, this ain't going to happen. This is what it's going to come down to. The Rams are going to beat them in week 1. They're going to lose to the Lions in week 2. I see them going 2-2 because, again, it's Geno Smith. I cannot understate that Geno Smith has been the most mediocre quarterback in the NFL since Ryan Leaf, since Mark Sanchez, since the guy who did the butt punt.
Yeah. Wait a minute, but would you say it's more mediocre than Drew Lock?
I don't know, because I got guys here tell me about how they had the best run defense. That was good when you had Bosa, but since Bosa, we don't even know if his ass will even be like legitimately there, ready to go when the season starts. So that run defense lives on that. We saw how that run defense worked out so well in the NFC Championship game, And, oh, wait, that's right. They're the guys who cost them the game. So don't give me this madness about how the 49ers are just this damn good. The 49ers are that team that will get you there, but they can't finish it off. All you got to do is ask the team that's on my head.
And the Chiefs.
Like I said, the team on my head.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's who's on it. No, I'm wearing this one with pride because of the fact that no, go ahead, go ahead, because me and Don Juan are probably gonna be going back and forth on this through every episode of the Aftermath.
Or the team on your chest too.
Pretty sure we did that too.
Yeah. All right, then afterwards, Seahawks go to Cincinnati, host the Cardinals, host the Browns, and go to the Ravens.
Let's see. Seattle beats the Cardinals, escapes on the Browns, but you know what? I'm actually gonna say they're gonna beat the Ravens. So I'm gonna say they're gonna be 3-0 in that little slate until
the Cincinnati matchup before all of those.
Oh, Cincinnati? No, they're losing that one without question. They're losing Cincinnati. They're losing to the Bengals.
Okay. All right, next slate they have home against the Commanders, going to LA to play the Rams. Then they're back home for Thanksgiving against 49ers, and then they go to Dallas to play the Cowboys.
They'll lose the Commanders, beat the Rams. They'll beat the 49ers. I think they lose to the Cowboys.
All right, final stretch. They go to Cisco to play the Niners. Then they're home against the Eagles. They spend Christmas Eve in Tennessee. They host the Steelers on New Year's Eve, and then they finish in the desert against the Cardinals.
Lose to the Eagles, beat the Titans, beat the Steelers, beat the Cardinals. So they'll be a playoff team, but they'll be a wild card.
All right. And now, hey, Rams, your turn.
Get it. Let's go.
I'm gonna, yeah. I'm definitely waiting for this part now. All right, so Rams schedule and Don Juan, I better see a hell of a lot of comments from you on this one.
Oh, no, it's gonna be.
Yeah. All right. They start. Oh man, they got the division already. Start in Seattle, go to San Francisco. Or no, they host San Francisco. Go to Cincinnati and go to Indianapolis.
I feel like this team is going to be 3-1. I say 3-1 only because of the fact that I feel like they will beat Seattle. They will squeak past Cisco. They won't be able to squeak past Cincinnati because, again, that Burrow-Chase combo, that is too much of a subway to sit here and handle, and I feel like they will beat Indianapolis.
Yeah, got like 2 Super Bowl rematches. Yeah, in the same season. Let's see. After that, they host the next 3 they're home. Host the Eagles, Cardinals, and Steelers, and then finish off going to the Cowboys and the Packers.
This was going to be fun for me personally, this slot. Eagles, loss. Cardinals win, Steelers win. Cowboys, I'm going to abstain from this one. I'm going to abstain from this one only because we all know who I share this household with. And we already have our own wager going. And unfortunately, we have Twilight on the line. Reason why Twilight on the line is because the missus decided that she wanted to ante up the stakes a little bit and actually sit here and have the point where if the Cowboys beat the Rams, I have to sit here and sit through a whole day of Twilight. Trust me, nobody wants to sit here and go through that. But if she loses, she has to watch all the entire series of Twisted Metal with me. I feel pretty damn froggy, as bad as it comes. So I will actually go, and this is a very case, I'll actually say Eagles loss, Cardinals win, Steelers win. I'll abstain from the Cowboys. I'll abstain from it. I don't even want to pick it. Not yet. Talk to me again at the Aftermath.
I was thinking of something. Yeah, you win this bet, you're gonna feel like Richard Sherman on Undisputed now.
I feel like Richard Sherman already. I'm sitting here calling. I'm sitting here calling out Tavon Diggs. I'm sitting here calling out that so-called smash mouth Cowboys defense. I'm even calling out the fact they sat here and literally signed Trey Lance and they let Zeke go. Yeah. Zeke is going to pretty much be slapped their asses like there's no tomorrow. So I'm already happy about it.
I just thought of something. What? Damn, I was thinking you're going to have Skip, Michael Irvin, and Keyshawn all undisputed, and I'm like, oh Lord, yeah. I want to tell you when the Cowboys wind up losing, I'm like, well, you're gonna think it's gonna be a national depression, especially because all three of them going to be on the same episode. But anyway,
I'd like to feel bad for the Cowboys fans, but I'm not.
All right. After the Rams bye week, they host the Seahawks, go to Arizona, host the Browns, and then go to Baltimore.
Now, what's that noise?
Oh, okay. Seattle. I feel like they're going to sweep the Seahawks. I don't think Geno Smith is going to be pretty much of anything. And then we have the Arizona Cardinals. I don't see them much of anything because their fans don't even want to show up. Then we have Cleveland, which is big because it's Deshaun Watson. You got Kyler Murray, Deshaun Watson, and Lamar Jackson back to back to back. I say Deshaun and Lamar are going to be the biggest two threats we got because AD already has the issue when it comes to the Arizona Cardinals. So I say it's going to be a win, possibly a loss. Possibly. Odell also is going to be in this game. So.
Yep. Yeah.
Who the Reds got? Man, that's.
Yeah.
Bruh. Other than Cup, you forgot. Did you? Okay. He said, nope. I will be nice. No. I'm going to be nice because he's asked the question. I'm going to give him the bona fide certified answer. So he wants to know this. Fair enough. I'm going to sit here and start naming the names, every single sense of the word. I'm going to give him exactly what he wants. So we have Davis Allen, who basically is Tyler Higbee, the younger version. We got Tutu Atwell, who's got massive hands. Massive. Then we got Preston Burmeister, who is all I could, depending on what he does up to this point, is probably going to end up on this roster when this thing is all said and done. We got Zach Evans, who has become that guy to replace Cam Akers if Cam Akers decides he wants to just tuck tail and run. Then on top of that, we got Tyler Hudson, Louisville. You know about Louisville. We got those high hands there. And Jefferson, who was that guy who actually has that deep ball threat. Tyler Johnson, another deep ball threat. Across the man, Cooper Kupp. The man, the myth, the legend. We got Lance McCutcheon, who is becoming a legend in his own right. We got Puka Nacua. We have this guy from BYU who has proven to be that number 2 guy behind Cooper Kupp. He's earned his stripes. So put some respect on that name. We have DeMarcus Robinson, who is, again, another person trying to earn his stripes on this one. We have Ben Skowronek, who has sat here and shown that he has the skills, the need, the talent to be that next Cooper Kupp. So when Cooper Kupp goes down, Skowronek is the guy to step up and back up and show off. And then we got Xavier Smith. Mr. FAMU, we got this guy. But you want to talk about, oh, yeah, let's say, like, what else do they have? What do we have to have? Bruh, come on now. You guys had the top receiver in the NFL in Devontae Adams and didn't do jack. Talk to me when you guys win a division, and then we'll talk. Tonight, I'm being nice. I'm saying a division. I'm not saying a Super Bowl because you guys can't win a Super Bowl to save your life. But we'll get to your Raiders in a second. Reese, please continue.
All right, then ending the stretch, we got the Rams are hosting the Commanders and the Saints on a short week. Then they spend New Year's Eve with the Giants up at MetLife and finish the season in San Francisco.
Is it wrong that I feel like this is going to be fun? We got the Commanders, who right now by this point should be deciding in a second who's going to win that division. And we know that division has been hell. It was hell 2 years ago when we started this collision course madness as far as divisions go. And it's not going to change. I feel like the Commanders are more primed and ready, but I don't feel like the Commanders are ready to sit here and handle in SoFi that madness of AD and that AD fence. So I'm actually going to go Rams on that one. Saints in SoFi, Derek Carr, for some reason, has a problem with California.
Yeah.
He proved it. He proved it already. So I'd say Rams went out. But I'm gonna say the Rams went out.
Damn.
Win against Commanders, win against the Saints, win against the Giants. I honestly feel like the biggest win we're gonna have in that stretch is gonna be the slapping we're gonna do to the 49ers. Because the 49ers have this crazy belief that they deserve everything. You have Kyle Shanahan as a coach. You deserve nothing. Nothing. You have Kyle Shanahan as a coach. You don't deserve anything except a big slap in the face at best. So, San Francisco, get ready. Because it's going down. As much as you guys beat the snot out of each other in the preseason, you guys are going down. You guys are going down this season. Brock Purdy's going to let you down. And whoa. What did you just say?
Yeah, he said it.
Bruh. Again, you guys had Devontae Adams and didn't do jack. Are you going to sit here and tell me we are the obscurity team? Bruh, you might want to sit here and check your homework. Check your paperwork real quick while you're at it. You had Devontae Adams and you didn't do jack last season. Devontae Adams left Green Bay and went to Vegas, and the only thing he got out of that as a win was a lap dance. The end. That's all he got. Wait. What am I thinking? I'm arguing with a Raiders fan. I am arguing with a Raiders fan for the love of Pete. I have hit rock bottom because I am arguing with a Raiders fan, and the Raiders haven't been relevant since I was in my 20s. I'm in my 40s now. That should tell you everything.
Speaking of the teams that ain't been relevant, brings us to the Cardinals.
Bruh, dude. Okay, I'll be honest, Reese. Do you really want to do the Cardinals? Do you really feel the need to do the Cardinals? I don't see. I'm gonna be legitimate.
Actually obligated to. We do.
I'm gonna be legitimate. I don't see the Cardinals winning any game in 2023. That is how ballsy I am. I don't see them winning any of them.
0-18? Or wait,
I say 0-17? I say they're gonna be the 0-17 team of 2023. That's how big. That's how much I am literally putting into this one. The Cardinals, their fan base literally gave everybody the finger, but not even showed up to a preseason game. You got Brittany Mahomes showing up for a damn preseason game, and her husband ain't even playing.
Damn.
And yet the Cardinals couldn't even show up? Bruh, my son's team could be 0-ish for the entire season. I'd still at least show up there to support my kids. You tell me the Cardinals can't even show up to a preseason game to at least show some support for this team that has to be relegated to live in Arizona, to play in Arizona. Nobody wants to play in Arizona. That's why the Arizona Wildcats, Arizona State Sun Devils are playing in a different conference. So they don't have to play there as much anymore.
Yeah, sure.
Really? You're going bookies? That's your thing? The bookies? The bookies? Yeah, Brett.
Yeah.
I want you to keep that same energy. Keep that same energy you got when we start talking about the AFC West. I promise you. I'm going ham on these Raiders.
Yeah.
Public opinion. But go ahead, Reese, because I literally feel like I'm gonna say something.
Okay. Let's see.
Because you want to go there.
Just for the record, here is their schedule. Cardinals started in DC against the Commanders. Then they're home against the Giants and the Cowboys. They go to Cisco for the 49ers and then come back home for the Bengals. And let's see. 1-4 start there, Arizona.
1-4. No comment.
Yeah. Yeah. Then after that, go to LA to play the Rams, go to Seattle to play the Seahawks, host the Ravens, and then go into the Browns. Yeah. Then you're still at a 1-win there because you're losing all 4 of those. Let's see. Then they host the Falcons, go to Houston to play the Texans, host the Rams, and go to Pittsburgh to play the Steelers. Yeah. You're still staying at 1. And then they got the bye week, and let's see, host the 49ers, go to Chicago to play the Bears, go to Philly. Yep, so Christmas Eve in Chicago, New Year's Eve in Philly, and then they come back home to play the Seahawks. Yeah, all right, I'll give them 2.
You gave them 2?
Yeah, because the Seahawks one might be a dead-end game by that.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like I said, that's being generous. Yeah. Yeah, because like I said, it's like Atlanta's kind of been shitty, so. Yeah. And
fair enough.
They're going to mess up Taylor Heineke's career, so. But then again, wait a minute. I have a question. Now that I mentioned Taylor. Oh, they got Brissett and Fromm. So. Yeah. Oh, and my man Sam Huff.
Wait. Reese, I'm just curious. I know he's in the chat. You might as well go ahead and knock, because I want you on screen for this one, because I know who's next. I know who's the next division up. But I have to ask, do you have some animosity towards the Bears we don't know about?
Yeah.
I mean, tell me when I'm telling lies. Because it looks like he's got animosity towards the Bears. Like, is it because of Chicago? Is it because your distribution was undercooked? Was it because the footlong wasn't footlong? Like, what the ish is wrong with, like what do you have against Chicago that has made you made you be this way?
That will be a mystery we may never know. Oh, hold on. And
I play French for shut down, love the city, hate the I'm sorry. Go ahead. It's almost saying that you've hated every quarterback since Jim McMahon, because that's what it sounds like.
Pretty much. I mean, who hasn't been since McMahon?
There he is. Like, for the love of Pete, I wanted to know.
I knew this episode was going to get good.
Yeah. And of course it's going to get good, because we're talking about the West, the best divisions in the NFL. We're talking about the divisions. This fool's got his Raiders hat on. I got my Rams gear on, and I got the team that will own the AFC West on top of my dome. So trust me when I say this. I would love to talk about the AFC West. God, I'm ready. I'm ready.
All right, and I'm gonna reverse this one too. So I'm gonna start from the bottom. Yeah, and that one will go to the Broncos. Yeah. So they will start off their season hosting the Don Juan's Raiders. They're hosting the Commanders.
Wait. Who are we talking about?
Broncos.
Oh, wait. What?
I got some history for you.
Wait.
Okay.
I'm gonna let you do better. I gotta switch up here real quick because I got the monster, the man, on here, not Khalil Mack, which you guys got rid of. I got the man here, but I'm gonna have to get the captain on. I'll be back. You guys can go ahead and continue. I don't know. Right. You should talk about Mr. Unlimited. Question is he going to be Mr. Unlimited or Mr. Unlimited diarrhea? That's the only thing.
Well, there's another thing in Hackett, so.
I'm not gonna sit here and say that the Raiders are gonna win the Super Bowl. I'm not even saying they're gonna win the division. I do think, in spite of everything else, that they're gonna win enough games, 9-8, 10-7, whatever, to get into the playoffs. There'll be two teams coming out of the AFC West, and the two that won't be coming out will be the Broncos and
the Chargers.
Have fun with that.
And speaking of which, so of course, the Broncos, like I said, they're starting off their season hosting. Actually, they have a Raiders sandwich because they start in with the Raiders. But let's see. What did I say after that? All right, Raiders, Commanders, so they're home for the first two. Then they go to Miami.
I did notice that you still have the tag on that shirt, so you can return it, right?
Hell no! I return it. What? You want me to get the Devontae Adams one? You want me to get the Devontae Adams jersey that's probably going to sit here and drop value in like 2 weeks? Give me a break. Come on now.
I would go to my closet and bring out my Marcus Allen jersey, but
just break this out real quick. Hang on. Whoops! I'm sorry, I lost the tag. Oh, honey, I lost the tag. I can't return it.
You still got the receipt, though, right?
No, I ain't got the receipt for it because I sat here and wiped my butt with that damn receipt. Like the Raiders wipe their butts with their entire season. Come on.
I'll put some respect on Cooper Kupp.
I'll put some respect on Cooper Kupp. I will put the respect on Cooper Kupp. I will put the respect on Devontae Adams. He tried. But do you really think that basically Devontae Adams is going to be that be-all, end-all with the Raiders? Jimmy G, I am glad for his contract. I am glad for his side deal because, quite frankly, I would love that side deal. You would too, Reach. Don't even lie. But the fact is that it's the Raiders. It's good they have this deal. It's good they have this little side deal because in this division, it is still too easy for Patrick Mahomes to be that guy, to be that man, that myth, that legend, that bad boy, the man who sat here and shut down the most unstoppable team in football, the Philadelphia Eagles. Too bad, too easy, because of one simple reason. And trust me, I'm glad you're on it because you are going to hear this a lot during this entire cast. Because say it.
It's free real estate.
I'm gonna have that pretty much private.
I will acknowledge, as opposed to conceding, that Kansas City, best team in the NFL, best team in the AFC, best team in the AFC West. I'm not even going to go down that road. I'm a fan of the Raiders. I'm not delusional. Reality at some point in time always comes into the question. So, what I'm saying is that the Raiders should be better than they were last year. people can argue all they want, but
Yeah.
Jimmy G is an upgrade over Derek Carr
You
simply
know,
because
I'll be
Jimmy
honest.
G
He's right.
can put the ball in the end zone when they're inside the 20. Derek Carr, I love the guy, but a lot of reasons I love the guy, couldn't get that done. If he didn't turn it over or go over on downs or end up settling for a field goal, that's what happened to the Raiders more times than not when they got inside the 20.
Yes,
I'm
They
a,
especially
no,
will
wait,
be
wait.
different.
I'm going to ask you, are
Hmm.
you more comfortable with when Derek Carr was under center, or are you more comfortable now with Jimmy G under center?
I'm more comfortable with Jimmy G because look, and again, I love Derek Carr, but I saw the games. I've seen the games for the last 7, 8, 9 years with the Raiders. For some reason, when Carr gets under center and he steps up to the line, he starts looking at the defense and starts checking down to some other call.
True.
More times than not, it's the wrong call. I don't know what it is. I'm when the Ravens won those last 4 games or whatever it was in 2021 to make the playoffs, he wasn't doing it. He'd go to the line, run the play, no matter what it was, and they eked out the wins they needed to get. Last year, he reverted back to the Derek Carr that he's always been. That guy who gets in the line, thinks that he's smarter than those defensive guys on the other side of the line. He thinks in his head, not necessarily not, that he's Peyton Manning. He ain't. And again, the plays that he would call to or change to didn't work enough. And the record is good. Look, the Raiders scored last year mostly because of their kicking game, and you can't win that way. Particularly if you look at the games that they won last year. I think it was 4 to 5 games last year where they held a double-digit lead at halftime and lost.
And then,
Right, and that
and
wasn't.
then, apparently, Derek Carr sat here and gave you guys a massive, huge dose of
emotional damage.
I was waiting for this clip.
Well, again, you watch the games. You want the guy to win. You want the team to win. But you see what develops. All I'm saying is there is a reason why, and God bless him. I root for Derek Carr to do well, New Orleans, because I think he got the talent. But again, like I said, I saw the games. I saw the results. And when the Raiders decided to cut ties like they did late, as unceremonious as that was, most Raider fans kind of said, you know what? That needed to happen. It was a bad break, and the way they did it wasn't the best way to handle it, to in effect show him the door, but it was necessary. And the fact that they could get a guy like a Jimmy G, who's been to the playoffs, oh, by the way, unfortunately for Carr, he's done something Derek Carr hasn't been able to do. That is win a playoff game. People can tell me all they want. To me, it's wins and losses. All the other stuff is just opinion, conjecture, speculation. Doesn't matter. You either win and do, or you lose and you don't. And he hasn't.
Well,
so, yeah, I'm going off the fact that I think that, and again, we're all fans. And
right.
fans are optimistic. We're myopic. We're delusional. We always see the best. I just think that, again, till proven otherwise, I think that Jimmy G will be a better fundamental quarterback for the Raiders, particularly given the guys that they have now. Devontae Adams set up and said, and I bought into it, other fans did, oh, yeah, me and Derek Carr, we were homies at Fresno State. That's why I came. No, he came here because he thought that the Raiders would be better than they turned out to be. And I think he wanted a change to go from I don't care who it is, who wouldn't want to move from Green Bay to Vegas. Simple as that. However,
okay,
no, go ahead.
So that being said, because we have been talking regular season, but you guys got a big preseason finale coming tonight, and it's already been confirmed that this will be Will Greer's final game in a Cowboys uniform. And it's basically saying that he's playing the entire game is Will Greer.
So he's not going to make the Cowboys Ring of Honor, huh?
Apparently, you can literally be drunk off your ass and literally make the Cowboys Ring of Honor. It's the Cowboys for hell's sake. But that being said, is Will Greer going out with a bang and the Cowboys are beating the Raiders tonight, or is we gonna actually sit here and see
Uh,
these Raiders actually sit here and step into the regular season in 2 weeks and be the Raiders we expect them to be when they made the jump from Oakland to Vegas.
at some point in time, I don't care who you're a fan of, the team's got to win. And the Raiders fan. And look, I'm trying to be objective when I look at this team and I look at their prospects. But I've heard it for decades.
Right.
Just win, baby. Just win, baby. You know what the Raider fans, unfortunately, and I'm one of them, it's not just win, W-I-N. It's just win, W-H-E-N. Just win, or we're going to win and get to the playoffs. I mean, that's where Raider fans are really at. So, all due respect to Al Davis, it's just win because we want to win now. And I think they have a squad that can win enough. Do they have a squad that can do a lot? I don't know yet. I'll know better.
Honestly, it got good for you guys because I just heard before we even went on the South divisions that Josh Jacobs did sign for that 1-year deal. So you guys get at least your big powerhouse running back back. But my biggest thing is that in a division that is pretty much consumed by the Red Kingdom, where you have the Red Kingdom, you have Mr. Unlimited, you have Mr. Off the wall Herberts, you have this guy, and you have the mulatto Austin Eckler with the Chargers, and then you got the Raiders who are still trying to find their identity. Josh McDaniels actually impressed me to a point in that preseason game against the Rams a couple of weeks ago. So he impressed me enough to sit here and show me, hey, maybe if he has the right squad, he could be a good coach. But now it comes that time. Is Josh McDaniels the guy that will actually do what Kyle Shanahan has not been able to do, and that is actually sit here and show that he's worth the money, he's worth the contract, he's worth the time. You guys got Jimmy G as a quarterback. You got Jimmy G, who I respect. I will be honest. I respect the hell out of Jimmy Garoppolo. But the fact is that if you guys make Jimmy Garoppolo look bad, I will come down to Vegas and slap the piss out of every last one of you. I'll be honest.
If this team doesn't do better than last year with Jimmy G, I'm right there with you. Because, again, you can't just keep going through these cycles of new coach, new GM, new this, new that. At some point in time, whatever you got on the field, got to stand and deliver some wins. I mean, again, it's been the last time the Raiders won a playoff game was more than 20 years ago. So you can try to tell the fans, oh, it's going to be better. We got this guy from New England, and we got we saw what happened last year. I don't know how long a leash Josh McDaniels has this year with the Raiders. I don't know, but I guarantee you, if it's low single digit wins this year, he's gone, and we're going to just start all over again. It'll be some other guy, some other GM, and some other offensive coordinator, and it'll never stop. You get into that cycle, that downward spiral, and sometimes you can't pull out. I think they're poised to do that this year, but I got to see. The first couple games will tell me everything.
In fairness, at least you guys aren't the 49ers fans where y'all basically decide in a preseason to beat the flipping tar out of each other. At least you guys aren't that. I will give you that much. But holy mother Ishwit, there's got to be a fine line. Because the top team in that division is not the Chargers, no matter how much they want to say they are. It's the Chiefs. It's the champs. That is basically the biggest ones. And the fact is that until one of y'all, either it's Chargers or it's Raiders or it's that other B-bag team that's in that division, if it's not them, the Chiefs pretty much run the West, just like in the NFC. The Niners run the West. If the Cardinals, the Seahawks, and the Rams don't do it, that's just it. But in Yao division is the biggest one because of the fact that Yao had Patrick Mahomes who was running around looking like a peg, looking like Long John Silver, who won a Super Bowl. You guys can't even get Jimmy G to sit here and get that far. You guys had Brock Purdy, and you couldn't get it done. So it basically comes down to who is going to be the guy in Vegas who is going to get the job done. If it's going to be Jimmy G, put the areas around him that are going to keep him upright and not on his ass. That's gonna be the biggest thing.
Well, the one thing I will say, what the Raiders, in my mind, have improved, because you can talk all you want about skill players and weapons and all this stuff, it's still the interior lines that get everything done. So they improved their offensive line even last year. I think it'll be better, more consistent this year, both run and pass. And I think, Max Crosby is Max Crosby. He's one of the best defensive players in the league, just on attitude alone.
Right.
Chandler Jones, you know what? People have been down on him. I think he'll have a really good year this season. And then their number one pick, he'll get some playing time. If he shows out early enough, he'll be in there too. And I think they'll get a better push. Their biggest problem has been for the last couple decades, since they won a playoff game, linebackers, defensive backs. If they've made any improvements there that are going to make it any difference, then there'll be a better defensive team. And I think overall, it'll take pressure off the offense. Jimmy G not going to get ruffled. He's going to come out and ball. I don't have any doubts about that. Josh Jacobs is as hard-nosed a runner as you're going to find anywhere in the NFL. And clearly they brought in Jacoby Myers, who I think is going to be a really good possession receiver. They got the guy that can go over the top wherever you want him, and Devontae Adams. And oh, by the way, Hunter Renfro's still a pretty good wide receiver. He may not get Cooper Kupp quality, but he's pretty good. So they got enough weapons. And then the kid from Notre Dame, Mayer, at tight end. So they look on paper like they're good to go. I don't know. I'll see.
See how good it is.
Yeah. We're going to do something different for this one because of the fact that usually we go through the schedules for the AFC West. Obviously, with so much emphasis on the AFC West, we all know how bad it's going to be. So I'm going to make a judgment call. I'm going to make a presidential pardon. So I'm going to make a captain's pardon. We'll put it like this. I'm putting a captain's pardon.
All right.
We're going to decide here and now between the three of us and whoever the hell is actually listening or watching and typing. We're going to put it like this. Who do we feel has the best chance to take the AFC West? Instead of basically going through the schedules of all four teams, we're going to put it like this. I know my brother from another mother is going to pick the Chargers, so there's a Chargers vote. But at this very point, just to basically keep this wrapped up in a damn bow, because we have Aftermath in 2 weeks, and I want to be pumped on that one. We're going to say who we feel is going to become that team. Who's going to be that team that's going to be the best in the West? Not inking in like the Bucks and the Jaguars. Not trying to squiggle in like the Cowboys. We're going to talk about the team that actually deserves that. So we already know how big this whole thing's going to be. So with everything in the head, who takes the AFC West? Don Juan, we start with you.
Okay, let me preface all this by saying I am not buying into the argument that the Chiefs are going to be less of a team because of Chris Jones, because Eric Bieniemy went to Washington, and so I don't care about that. I will say this much, and again, this is based on just pure optimism more than anything else. The Raiders can win this division, but like anything else, if you want to be the man, you got to beat the man, and the man has been for some years now and may continue to be, Kansas City. So their first matchup against the Chiefs is everything. If the Raiders develop like I think they can, and they start and really believe that not only can they be competitive with the Chiefs in game, but they can actually win a game. If they can do that in their first meeting, then I say the Raiders obviously going to go on and win that division. I don't want to preface it with ifs and buts and maybe and candy and nuts and all that stuff, but it comes down to that. Otherwise, it's the same old rinse, cycle, repeat. It's going to be Kansas City. It's going to be Mahomes. It's going to be Andy Reid. It's going to be whatever.
Rockin' Reese.
And I'm just putting it all on that first meeting. If the Raiders play well as I think they will get into that first meeting and go out and challenge the Chiefs and don't lay down for them because maybe the Chiefs are in their head. If the Raiders honestly get into that game, and play like they believe they can win, they got a shot, and if they win, then I think they take it all. That's
Rocket Reese, who do you think?
Yeah. I know who I'm not going to take. Sorry, Kansas City, but judging with what y'all got, yeah, I wouldn't want Kansas City's schedule for the life of me. I don't care. How good?
Really? Really?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
go look at it. But also, there's been I don't know what's been going on, but there's been some some New York Geno Smith kind of stuff going on with the Chiefs that never happened in their tenure under Andy Reid. So, and yeah, I've seen this story happen in Philly. I'm seeing it repeat in Kansas City. I was like, and here's the sad part. Kansas City, why the hell are y'all fighting each other? Y'all the damn champs. Now, if it was somebody that was coming onto your team and you having that moment where, hold on, no, we the champs, you just riding with us kind of moment, like how the Bulls used to do with all their newcomers on the Last Dance, whatnot. Hey. But gun to head, I'm looking at the Raiders right now. Then,
okay.
Got a convert.
Right now, nobody's because I think nobody's looking at them. Oh,
there you go.
But yeah, although
okay.
I was tempted to pick the Broncos only because of Sean Payton, Russell Wilson. But like I said, I think they're going to eventually get exposed at some point in the season. Yeah.
Oh, they're gonna get exposed week 1 because talk about records in history. The Raiders have beaten the Broncos 7 consecutive times.
That would make sense. Except we all know for a fact that a couple of those losses were to some craptastic offensive coordinator who doesn't know about a mobile quarterback. So I'm not even going to go into that one. So here's how I put it.
We're assuming that Russell Wilson is still a mobile quarterback?
We're at this point where basically once you let Russell Wilson do what Russell Wilson does best, Russell Wilson is that guy. You know this. You can't even knock and say you don't know this. Even my wife, who's a Cowboys fan, knows for a fact. You let Russell sit here and just be free. Russell Wilson is basically one of the most dangerous mobile quarterbacks you have on 2 legs. On 2 legs.
You know what?
Patrick Mahomes on 1.
If this was 12 months ago, I'd be hard pressed to disagree. But like everything, I saw those games last year, and I don't know.
You saw who his coach was. His coach was trash.
But you know, it's really easy. I think it's done a lot to blame the coach when certainly superstar players don't perform to their level. And Hackett was as bad as Fazio and all the other coaches that they've had in Denver. But the problem was, what I saw last year was when he would roll out or they'd move the pocket, he was indecisive. Now maybe that's because of lack of familiarity with the weapons that he had, but it just wasn't the same guy. And he did not, when pressed, didn't have the guns or the whatever to be mobile enough to step up in the pocket and make something happen with his legs. Maybe things will be different. I got to be sold on that. Obviously, week 1 will tell me more than I know now. But guys getting by on rep don't influence me. Sean Payton, we've seen tons of coaches come back into the league, and the record is replete with those coaches. They don't do well. They just don't. Sean Payton's coming back now, and he's coming into not a really good situation. I don't know. I'll have to wait and see.
But do I trust a Raiders fan to gospel me on the benefits of good coaching?
Oh, hell no! Oh, hell no! Oh, hell no!
Well,
Let me tell you why. No, let me tell you why. Because the only highlight of the Raiders of the past decade has been one guy, one man, one catchphrase that Reese and I have both pretty much sat here and danced to enough times to remember. Because the Raiders used to be called those motherfucking groove and grinders. We can't stop them groove and grinders. Representing for these Oakland Raiders. Fuck Khalil Mack as he's a fucking traitor. Let's be realistic here. Let's be honest. This is make or break time. Make or break time for the Raiders. The Raiders pretty much need to get their asses in the playoffs to even be relevant in 2023 or 2024. If the Raiders pretty much aren't thinking playoffs in their heads, they don't matter. They are irrelevant. Wait. Hang on a second. Wife is leaving for her haircut. So, no, my son. She's leaving to take my son to get his haircut. One of them's getting their haircuts at this very point. So that's how crazy my household is. Casa de Johnson's like always running wild.
As long as it ain't my Brutus the Barber beefcake, you're good.
We'll say down for when we do Aftermath in 2 weeks, which Don won. I want your butt in there, front row for the first Aftermath in 2 weeks on September the 12th. Just so we're clear.
I will be there. I just hope that I'm not in a really good mood because I will not hold back.
This is no filter. This is Bleacher Bros. We ain't going all. We go all out every chance we get.
Good mood and bad moods.
Well, I just kind of said euphemistically, good mood. If the Raiders come out of the gate and they're kicking ass, I'm taking no prisoners.
You right there? No, I'm right there with you. Because, very much, we got you. We got Eagles, Carolina here. We got Rams, Chiefs here. Trust when I say this. We got you. But here's what it comes down to for the Raiders. The Raiders are going to have to basically sit here and show me something because we've been waiting for the Raiders to basically sit here and take the division. I'm not even going to lie to you. I am a Chiefs guy because I am a native of Missouri. I am a Missourian, so I am literally by blood, a Chiefs head. But to watch the Raiders, to be able to sit here and actually watch them get it done, to watch Josh McDaniels actually have fucking something to win on, let's be honest. This is the same Josh McDaniels. We're hoping it's not the same Josh McDaniels that sat here and actually put Tim Tebow in a football game and won. We don't want it to that point where that is his legacy. Josh McDaniels has got to get this head coaching job for a reason. He knows how to make no-namers, naysayers, believers, and he proved that with Brady. That's his thing. He made Tom Brady a legend. What better than Tom Brady's successor in New England to be able to get it done? I want the Raiders to be successful this year. I am not going to lie about that. But can the Raiders beat Kansas City? Oh, hell no! Even with the fact that half of the team is not even with the team anymore. Even with the fact that Chris Jones has not even signed his long-term deal yet. Even with the fact that the Raiders have by far the best looking team in the division right now. Always, then, now, forever. Yes, I stole that from you, Vince McMahon. Get the hell over it. It is still, to this day, too sweet and too easy for Patrick Mahomes to run that division. Why? Well, it's a simple thing that basically even Raiders fans know and hate with a passion.
It's free real estate.
The fact of the matter is, I want the Raiders to basically sit here and overtake the Chargers. Because the Chargers have been getting so much praise for how great they are. You know their coach there, Don Juan. You know their coach, Reese. I know their coach. This Jagoff should have been fired after the last 2 seasons. But this guy is still there. This, I feel, is a make or break time for the Chargers. But Josh McDaniel will finally give this guy his walking papers. I don't feel like this guy will even survive the season. Josh McDaniels is really building a dynasty. But the problem is that dynasty needs a little bit more help. I say the Raiders will make it a fight. I say the Raiders will win. I say the Raiders will split with the Chiefs. They will sweep the Chargers. They'll even sit here and they'll split with the Broncos. They'll even have a shot at the playoffs. But as far as I'm concerned, to beat the Chiefs at their worst, we saw how that worked for the Eagles. We saw how that worked for the Texans. We saw how that worked for the Ravens. For pretty much every team, for the Bengals, for that matter, their biggest adversary. When it comes down to it, this is still the Chiefs' division for as long as Patrick Mahomes is under center for the Kansas City. But having Jimmy G does bring some problems on. Yeah.
Well, let me say one thing about Josh McDaniels, and this is, again, I know
the gospel.
It's a different day. You know, I'm just. And again, this season will tell me all I need to know about him and everything else. He's still one of those cerebral coaches. I'm not saying he needs to be, John Madden on the sideline, because the Raiders did win 2 Super Bowls with Tom Flores, who was never a yeller or a screamer or anything like that. But the question will ultimately be for McDaniels is, can he motivate his players to play to the level of their potential? That's the key for this guy. I don't care about histrionics on the sidelines or throwing clipboards and all that stuff. That's all a lot of fun. At the end of the day, you got to get players prepared to compete and then compete to win. And if he can do that, then the Raiders have a chance at the playoffs. We'll get in and he'll be around for another year. But that's the part about Josh McDaniels I don't know. He's had success being a coordinator and a number 2 and a this and a that. He's the head coach now, and it's his show. So whether or not the Raiders do well is really going to be dependent upon what he can drag out of every guy from 1 to 53. If it's kind of like, well, follow me because I've got the best game plan, and I used to be with the Patriots, that ain't going to cut it. He's got to look every one of those players in the eye and convince them that they're better than every team they got on the schedule, collectively. If you can do that, they got a good shot. If we can't, then we're looking at 6 and 11, 8 and whatever. It's just going to be a mediocre season. That's the real test to me. I don't know. I will see. I'll be better able to judge where this team is at a couple games in the season. But their record since they've moved to Vegas has not been good, particularly at home. You can't start to win until your fan base not only believes that you can win, but actually turns out. I've been to Raider games at their new stadium, and when a lot of clubs come into town, it's 50-50. And that's because a lot of folks are not yet convinced that this team can win. They got to put some wins on the board, get the fans behind them, and start moving forward. If it's going to be the same old thing, then you're going to get the same old result.
All right, Don. All right, so actually, let's break down. How do you think? Let's see how you think they're going to do. All right, so we know y'all got to go on the road to start with Denver and Buffalo.
Oh, he wants to bring it down. You really want to bring it down? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Let's go.
All right. So, I'll go. All right. You start in Denver, go to Buffalo. You finally have a home game Sunday nighter against Pittsburgh, and then you go to LA to play the Chargers to start off the season.
Well, you know what? I mean, I'm looking at those first 4 or 5 games. And again, I hate to keep pinning it on the same thing, but that game against the Broncos, they got to come out and show that they are better than they were last year. Because again, there's no big deal to beating the Broncos. They've beaten them before. They beat them 7 times in a row.
Oh, whoa, what? It's not a big deal to beat the Broncos?
No,
you clearly have.
My point isn't beating the Broncos. It's how they beat the Broncos. because they're going into Mile High, and
Yep.
it's oh, by the way, until this injury to Jerry Jeudy, the Broncos were a favorite in that game.
They're still a favorite in that game.
Yeah,
I'll be honest.
I don't, and again, I understand new coach, Super Bowl winning coach, Russell Wilson, Super Bowl winning quarterback, but that was long before yesterday. And it is what can you do now, and what have you done lately? And I'm just not convinced. I mean, if I were a neutral bettor on this game, knowing where these two teams are right now, I still see the Raiders going into Denver and winning, but winning handily. If for no other reason than the fans, I understand, and again, we talked about the public's opinion. The public's opinion on the Raiders is given by what they did last year and so on. So I get it. But I do think this team has improved. I think the quarterback play will be more efficient. I think the weapons that they have on offense will generate more touchdowns instead of field goals. And I think the defense will be improved enough to help them win games that they, A, should win, and B, keep them in games where they have a chance to beat teams they otherwise wouldn't beat. So again, Broncos, they beat the Broncos. The Bills, that's going to be an interesting game too. I think they take a loss there, but again, it's what kind of loss. If they get overwhelmed and rolled over and whatever, then it's the same old Raiders. If they compete and they're still in the fourth quarter and they might lose late, then I can live with that. But that tells me they can beat the Steelers, and the Chargers, and the Packers, and the Patriots, and the Bears, and the Lions. So I'm just saying that if they get something underneath themselves in terms of what they think their team is about, what sort of confidence they have in their collective ability to compete and win, I'm not saying they're going to run the table, not by any stretch, but they're going to win more games than last year, and I think they'll win enough games to get into the playoffs.
Huh.
But then,
I mean, again,
second half,
I look at some of these teams. Giants. Again, give me 2-3 weeks in the season. I can tell you, and anybody else can tell you, I guess. Where all these teams like the Giants, the Lions, and the Jets, and all these squads that are supposed to be so much better this year. We'll see where they're at by about week 3 or 4.
and then then again, you got to finish 4 out of your last 6. Then you got the division, what you said. There's where you're really gonna have to pull off some victories.
Yeah, they have the Chiefs actually late. They've played the Chiefs twice in their last 6 games. That'll be interesting. I mean, they're going to have time to get prepared, that's for sure. And they get the Chiefs at home for the first contest, right? I guess around Thanksgiving.
Yep.
We'll see. Again, I think the talent's there. I think that it's just the will and the belief and the effort to win is going to be the difference. If they just feel like, okay, we're not that good, or we're just a little bit, they're not going to get anywhere. They're going to get run over by better teams, at least teams that are better on paper. If they come in with the attitude that we're going to compete, we're going to win, they get double-digit wins, they make the playoffs.
And I gotta see the other half years. Yeah, this whole all right. First half, I like until you get to that Lions game, because like I said, Detroit, that's been one who's been all right. They've got some momentum. They actually did make some decent moves in the off season. Now it's just a matter of them putting it all together, and then, all right, you rebound against the Giants. But come on, the Giants is going to be a gimme. Then that Jets game.
That will be interesting.
Yeah.
Again, it's one of those night games, and it's going to be here in Vegas. Again, depending upon what their record has turned out to be by that point in time, if they have a positive record coming into that Jets game, the fans are going to be behind them, and that momentum is going to be built.
Wait. Why does it matter if the fans are behind them? It's literally It's really Jimmy G versus A.A. Ron Rodgers. When it comes down to it, Jimmy G owns A.A. Ron Rodgers because when Jimmy G played for San Francisco, he beat Rodgers in Green Bay. So by default, this should be Jimmy G's game to win. Now, Jimmy G does not win this game. I'm sorry, but there ain't no hype around this thing anymore. Because basically, it comes down to it, the pressure's going to be on the fact that the Raiders paid the lot. They pretty much spent the farm to get themselves in playoff position. That's what it actually comes down to. Now, we could go through the schedule to the cows come home, but when it all said and done, the smoke clears, it's going to come down to, can Jimmy G and Josh McD lead this Raiders team to a victory and the playoffs? That's going to be the biggest question I've got.
Well, I don't have any doubt about that. And specifically with regard to the Jets game, I know the hype's going to be around Jimmy G and Aaron Rodgers and all that stuff. But, it's the old story. They ain't playing against one another. They're playing against the other guy's defense. And the question will boil down to is, Robert Saleh is a great defensive coach. Obviously, he's turning into a pretty good head coach. How good is that Jets defense going to be in trying to stop the Raiders? And how good is that Jets offensive line going to be in stopping the Raider defense? Because if reports about that offensive line are what I'm hearing, or at least turn out to be anywhere near that, Aaron Rodgers will be running for his life. And that is not conducive. When you're talking about a guy that's 40 years old and having to run the throw a lot, that's not conducive to winning a lot of games. I don't care what kind of weapons you got.
You don't think Jimmy G will be running pretty much for his life in that game?
No, I think, again, I don't yet know. Again, I'm going on the reputation of Robert Saleh as a good defensive coach. The Jets were so bad last year overall, it's really kind of hard to pick out how good they may have been on defense. I assume they're a really good defensive squad. But I think the Raiders' offensive line, you talk about things that people don't look at or don't talk much about, they're a pretty good offensive line now. And I think that in terms of giving him time to throw, I think he'll have plenty of time to throw, even against the better defensive teams like the Jets and the Bills and so on. But again, it's going to be, can he make the plays? Are guys going to be into it to be competitive? If, like I said, by the time they get around to the Jets and the Raiders have a sense of themselves, like, you know what? We're a pretty good squad. We can compete against anybody. Not necessarily beat everybody. Well, Sunday in, Sunday out, when we show up, it ain't decided until, the end of the fourth quarter. If that's their mindset by that game, then I think they've got a really good chance to win. Particularly, again, being at home by that point, if they have a good record, the fans there'll be more Raider fans in the building than New York Jets fans. If it ain't, then you're going to see green all over Allegiant Stadium. That's just the way it's going to work. That's what remains to be seen. So they can build on something really nice and work, the squad that they have into a competitive team, at least in terms of making the playoffs. Or, like I said, if McDaniels can't get these guys based on the talent that they have motivated enough to compete week in and week out, then they're going to be the same old team. Same old Raiders like they've been off and on for the past 20 years. So I agree with you. This is a critical year in terms of what Josh McDaniels is, what he can make his legacy out to be, because to this point, as a head coach, not that good. So this is his opportunity. If he can translate his desire to seize this opportunity to better his legacy and communicate that to the players and get them to respond likewise, then they can go somewhere. But in terms of what they've done in the past, yeah, I wouldn't think they're going to be that good. Again, it's like, show me. And you're from Missouri. Like, let me see what you got first. I'll tell you how good you might be. So I understand the polls and the predictions and the overs and unders. Fine. Like I said, week 4 in the NFL, that's pretty much going to be your identity. If you're going to be a competitive squad for the playoffs, that's when it'll start to show. If you're not, you're not. Simple as that.
After you, Reese. You went through.
That's true. But all right, I want to flip over to Kansas City. Him. All right, so how do you think they do? First of all, So like I said, I am not loving their schedule right now.
Of course not.
No, because you start at home with Detroit. Okay, that one's going to be, which, by the way, it's not going to be an easy game. Then you got to go to Jacksonville, who initially hurt Mahomes' ankle in first place. All right, Bears, probably one of your only easy games you're going to have. They got to go to the Jets, go to the Vikings, which, yeah, Kirk will eventually blow that one. So,
Well, it's
Right.
Kirk Cousins, so that's kind of a given.
yeah. Then on a short week, come back to host the Broncos. Then after some time off, host the Chargers. And then you got to go to Denver. And then you got to fly all the way to Germany to play the Dolphins, which, by the way, that one might be an easy one, too. Yeah. But then have Philly in your Super Bowl rematch. Go to Vegas. Go to Green Bay. All right, so there'll be your last easy matchup. But then host the Bills, go to the Patriots, host the Raiders, host the Bengals, and then go to the Chargers.
That's a pretty rugged schedule when you really look at it, in spite of the fact this team, won the Super Bowl and everything else. Patrick Mahomes, I'm never, certainly after that Eagles Super Bowl, I'm never doubting this guy again. You're going to have to completely beat him down to win against this squad. It's just that simple. So, I think that you show up on Sunday to play this guy, and you better be ready for 60 to even have any kind of chance to compete, because he's going to keep coming and coming and coming and coming. And, when he's got Kelsey to throw to, doesn't matter who's in that backfield. Even at this point, I don't even know who their wideouts are. He gets the job done. He'll put the ball where it needs to be. He'll move that team. Defensively, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe they take a step backwards there. Maybe that's going to be their Achilles heel. I don't know. That situation with Chris Jones, it doesn't make sense to me. I understand everybody wants to get paid, but dude's under a contract. And I understand everybody wants more money, but I think it's disruptive, and I don't think it helps that team focus in on what they're going to need to do, because he is going to come back. He's going to come back. I just don't think, what's his attitude going to be if reality hits him in the face and says, you're not getting another contract. You're not getting an extension this year. Show me something next year, maybe. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be good enough for him. He's already talking about sitting out until week 8 or 9. That hardly sounds good. So that's a head scratch.
Especially if you're on a Super Bowl champion. Yeah, and it's like, you got to think, man, I'm sitting pretty, but I leave Kansas City. They'll work how I go to, and I was like, yeah, do you want to be playing in Arizona? Do you want to be playing do you want to be playing like with with the Packers? We know how bad that defense historically has been.
Yeah,
at least Russian. I was like, if I was Chris Jones, I'd try to work out something quick.
Well, honestly, we're still putting so much pressure on the Packers, but are we really for sure that the Packers even make a lick of sense this season? That's the biggest thing.
I said that defense has been historically bad, so we already know.
Defense has been suspect at best, and to be fair, if not for the crazy rowdiness of Crosby in the Raiders defense, it's the same damn thing. So the biggest question is going to be, which defense is going to actually step up? Do I feel like that the schedule for the Chiefs is a little bit suspect? Of course. But the fact is that the Chiefs were able to win a Super Bowl with a guy with one freaking leg last season. And this is not a knock on Mahomes, but how much more has this guy got to do to sit here and actually show, hey, you know what? I want it with 2 legs. I want it with 1 leg. Sure, coming out there with a hover round. Patrick Mahomes is this era's GOAT. He is that guy that basically runs that division. As much as you have all those great quarterbacks in that division, you have Russell Wilson, who's won a Super Bowl. You have Jimmy Garoppolo, who's competed against Mahomes in the Super Bowl. You have Justin Herbert, who, as much as I hate the guy, gets it done. Now, if he had a different coach, it'd be a whole other story. But the fact is that when it comes down to it, this AFC West, until somebody shows and proves him wrong, is Mahomes' division.
Well, it's certainly on the offensive side. I don't think there's any question, But again, it's 2 squads. It's offense and defense. If Kansas City defense gets a little suspect or starts giving up points, Patrick Mahomes is going to be in more shootouts in the fourth quarter, and I don't think you can pull them all out, particularly in the playoffs. So it's like that's why the Chris Jones thing just makes no sense. You could give a wink and a nod to the guy and say, okay, well, you know what, we're going to extend you somewhere down the road. That should be good enough. But if I don't know where he thinks he's going to go. No team currently has any cap space, not for the kind of money he's looking for. So what's he going to do? He's going to hold out and make the Chiefs give him more money by week 8 or 9? That's not going to happen. At some point, I understand he made his play, he made his point, but at some point he's got to show up and play. And if he shows up with the attitude that, these people are screwing me, I'm not getting what I deserve, maybe I don't go all out, I think it affects the other players on that defense, and I don't think they play as well. So, that'll be something to look out for. I mean, it's at this point where no game's been played, you jump on anything, positively or negatively. I just don't know. I just think it's odd behavior for a team that did as well as Kansas City did last year and in previous years to be looking at all this kind of nonsense headed into this season. I always thought the champ was self-confident. Everybody was pretty much good. If Chris Jones had been at the end of a contract and was looking to get paid with a new contract, I could see his point. But he signed the last contract. He should live up to the terms and the duration of that contract, period. And because again, if I had a guy like that guy on my team, it's like, dude, you got to show up and play. And the other stuff, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. But I think he's burned his bridges in Kansas City. He'll play out this season, and certainly if for some bizarre reason they don't, go back and win another Super Bowl, I think he's gone. He may be gone either way.
And on a side note, Chargers are definitely going by a early pick in my book because looking at their schedule, they ain't exactly one most people want to have. And,
I like. Hold on a second. Let me back up a second. I have never, ever liked the Chargers.
Man,
Going back,
Darren, a Raiders fan, I know that every day.
Don't respect them. I used to go down to games as a Raider fan. Go down to when they used to play old Jack Murphy.
Yep.
Oh, and let me tell you,
Good times.
Hide the women and kids. You hide the women and kids and everything else that you treasure dearly. Because those fans in those games, it was like the wave in terms of the fights and the stuff that would break out in the stands, and it's like nobody was watching the game. But I never liked them when they had Dan Fouts. They're too finesse. I just don't respect them. And now they got Justin Herbert, who, oh, by the way, I didn't like when he was at Oregon. I went to USC. But I just think the guy, look, he's got a great arm. He gets a lot of stuff done. He don't close. Teams don't close. I'm sorry. When you got that much talent, you should have won that playoff game, or excuse me, that late season game against the Raiders in 21 to get your team into the playoffs. This guy was a leader and a closer. They should have won that playoff game against Jacksonville when Jacksonville had 4 turnovers and were behind by 27 points. I mean, I'm sorry. It's not, you're a quarterback. You're getting all that money, and he's just got this new extension or whatever for a reason. You're getting hundreds of millions of dollars for a reason. It's when it matters most, you're going to contribute in the way that you need to make a difference so that the team can win. I haven't seen that from Justin Herbert. All I've seen so far are bloated stats, a man bun, and a head start. That's all I've seen. Good stats, no significant wins. So when I see that, then I'll start to respect at least him. I ain't seen it yet.
Nope. I'm actually running mine. I got nothing.
I'll tell you what, like this West is definitely going to be one that I want to keep my eyes on because, it's like I said, the biggest challenge of all is who's going to wind up stepping up in this one because, like I said, the Chiefs are pretty much saying up there is like, hey, this is our throne, man, and y'all ain't got what it takes to knock us off.
Well, all I should say all it takes, but you have to, in a team that's been winning for years, and really is still poised because Patrick Mahomes is so young guy. Somehow you got to reach into their confidence and just take a little of that away from them. It may not be in terms of what you do to Mahomes, because I don't think you can do anything to stop this guy. It could be another facet of the game.
They get that Tampa Bay defense on him like he did at the Super Bowl. They figured out how to stop him.
Yeah, you know what? But to give the Chiefs credit, they knew what their vulnerability. They saw it going into that game. Their offensive line was a mess.
Yes.
So what they went out and dedicated themselves toward the next season, and clearly you see the results. They went and they put a lot of money, a lot of attention into rebuilding that offensive line. Because, oh, by the way, as long as Patrick Mahomes is upright, we have a really good chance to beat almost everybody.
Well, I mean, in fairness to Patrick Mahomes, he proved last year that he basically didn't have to be 100% upright to basically lay the smackdown on some candy asses.
Yeah, no, that's true. But again, I think if anybody thinks that they're going to, the Kansas City offensive line going to let them run through and just smack Mahomes a lot, that's just not going to happen. But again, like I said, and that's the beauty of every new season. You just don't know. If Kansas City takes a slight step backwards, just a little bit, and some other team that hadn't been all that good or been mediocre steps up enough, and again, only takes one or two games, particularly in the playoffs. I mean, we all saw what Cincinnati did in their AFC Championship game a couple of years ago. I think they were down 20. They were down a couple touchdowns that game before they came back. And late in the game, all of a sudden, they're getting to Mahomes, and either sacking him or they're chasing him out of the pocket. I mean, anything could happen, and everything did happen for Cincinnati in that game. I think if you're any other team in the AFC and you have aspirations to get to the Super Bowl, you kind of have to have that scenario in your head. The only question is, can you replicate what Cincinnati did 2 years ago? Even Cincinnati couldn't do it last year. So it's going to have to wait.
I almost did, but then once got caught with that shove in the back at the end.
That didn't hurt.
Yeah.
Kansas City did get the benefit of that call.
I think this is definitely something that we're going to have to get ready to touch base on to make it as clear cut and bone dry as possible. The next 2 weeks are going to be fun. Yep. And for what I'm seeing here,
actually, the next 72 hours, even
we got ourselves some Ishnik going on. So I guess this is the part where Don Juan and I are probably going to be butting heads a lot this season, just because, well, it's my hometown. It's my hometown, so that's the only reason. But he equally hates the Cowboys as much as I do, so that works out well too.
Yeah. The enemy is my enemy.
And my enemy is my frenemy. Yeah. I call that a win.
Exactly.
You know what? The only thing that matters now is this Tuesday, what do the final rosters look like? And by the way, for everybody that doesn't know, deadline 4 o'clock Eastern time. So, and then after that, you can find out who you do have or who you don't have.
And let's be real, even if who you have, they probably gonna get beat by at least a few of the teams that we talked about today. Folks, Rocket Reese, do you have anything else you want to say to the people?
Yes, as a matter of fact, to do. Yeah, that. Well, matter of fact, nothing football related, but as far as fielder related and bleacher related, yeah. As if Fridays weren't crazy enough. Yeah. I'm actually leading off the party even before Tony and Miss Robin do. So, yeah. Starting this week, yeah, because now I'm working weekends, so that's why I'm moving the show. So, yeah, this coming Friday, 5 Eastern, 4 Central. Yeah. Rocket Jocks first, then into the night, then last call. Hey, it's a hell of a Friday, y'all. Yeah. And I promise, no, Debo will not be stealing Red's bike this week. Just saying.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Don Juan, what do you guys think you want to share to the crowd before we check out of here tonight?
Well, look, I never hide my enthusiasm. I mean, sports fans, whatever, we all know that.
Everyone should do Don Juan.
And I'm always an optimist. I mean, as a fan, either you're going to break through and there's going to be that kind of a season that's either magical or really good, or your team's going to suck and you're going to say, oh, here we go again. But you fight through it anyway. You grovel, you got to get whatever number of wins you can get and think, you know what? Yeah, we're 4-12, we're 4 and whatever. Next year, things will be different. So it's an addiction. We all got it.
I was really hoping you actually be able to sit here and just avoid having to trash talk to Cowboys fans, but I'll do it for you. Okay, folks, just to give you that quick heads up, in 2 weeks, the Aftermath returns. We go right balls deep into it, September the 12th. And we're actually going to sit here. We're going to go bigger than we ever went with before. 4 o'clock Pacific time, which will be about 8 o'clock Rocket Reese's time. And depending on wherever the hell Don Juan decides, whatever strip clubs Don Juan decides to venture to, I'm not going to say names, and you are not going to mention what they are, because whatever happens in those clubs stays in those clubs.
True fact. Never been to a strip club.
The fact is that allegedly, again, we're going to go there. Folks, September 12th will be our first round of the Aftermath, which will also unveil our first ever list of collision. Our list of collision returns on September the 12th, and we are looking forward to it because, quite frankly, let's be realistic. Reese has been clamoring for it. I've been clamoring for it. Hell, don't want to even know what the hell the list is, but we've been clamoring for it. But
yeah, actually, before my time, actually.
So before yours?
Yeah.
Are we going that route? Oh, I'm going either way. I'm going either way. That's how pumped I am. That's how pumped I am.
I have a question.
Shoot.
Can I find the list at any strip club? Just ask. Just say.
That depends on who listens to the show.
No. Let's go like this. The dude abides, the captain approves. You have our permission. Let her rip.
All right. Yeah, 2 words. Twin Peaks. You've been to Vegas, you know where that is.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think he was going to go. I think he was going to go that quick, folks. Let me just make this clear. I did not think he was going to go that quick. But because he apparently feels that he is the second coming. See, Rocket Reese is the Black Ric Flair. However, Don Juan feels that he is the second coming of Ric Flair, period. So, because of the fact that they both decide to go all deep into their inner dirtiest players in the game, gentlemen,
you get ready to play.
This one is for you.
Get ready
Get ready. Woo! We are on tour, and we're doing it better than anybody else alive. Now, Buddy Landell, it's so hard for me to sit back here in this studio looking at a guy out here hollering my name. When last year I spent more money on spilled liquor in bars from one side of the world to the other than you made. You're talking to the Rolex
wearing, diamond ring wearing, kissing, wheeling, limousine ride, jet fly, summer good, all having a hard time. Hold this dollar right down. You're welcome, folks. So for our final, this was our final episode up to the aftermath. So it was imperative for me to sit here and go big. So on behalf of Don Juan, Rocky Reese, my two original Black Ric Flairs up in this business. This has been, and this will be the last censor you'll ever get. The last, unless I get a little crazy between now and then. The original asshole, the Captain Ron Johnson, alongside my baby girl, who is apparently making music for no reason whatsoever. I said before, my baby girl,
Abby, you're awesome.
Love you, Abby. Folks, this has been the Captain. This has been the collision course. Have yourselves a merry preseason. Hopefully it goes.
Always.
Hopefully it brings your team to light. Because if they're not the Raiders, Panthers, Rams, or Chiefs, they absolutely suck tonight. Folks, it's been fun.
True about the Cowboys.
Damn straight about the Cowboys, and she ain't here right now, so I get to do that. Folks, we are done. We are wrapping it up. Folks, be sure to check out No Filter for all the crazy madness. Be sure to go ahead and jump over to BleacherBros.com and check out all the madness there as well. We will all be back. We will, hell, honestly, it's Saturday, so we still have a week before football season starts. Do not be surprised if you see a little bit of Rocket Jocks. Do not be surprised you see the man, the myth, the legend, smooth operator Don Juan dropping it down on The Last Call or on Into the Night with Tony Bruno. And do not be surprised if you see the man, the myth, the legend, the man, the original asshole, up on The Last Call, Into the Night. Hell, you might even see me on the Bleacher Bros show. Who knows? But all in fairness, thank you all for joining us. Please, if you have not sent thoughts, prayers, and condolences to the families of Terry Funk, Bray Wyatt, and Bob Barker, please do that as soon as you can because they love it and they appreciate it. Again, today's episodes are dedicated to those three individuals who changed our lives for the better in every sense of the word. That being said,
remember, folks, help control the population. Have your pets spayed or neutered. Goodbye.
And above all else, please make sure that your humans are spayed and neutered as well. Because there are a lot of hillbillies that need to be spayed or neutered. Just put it out there. I know. Use your hate mail to me on X. Folks, this has been the Captain. I have spoken. The rockin' one has spoken. The Don Juan Smooth Operator has already got a date going with Sade. So please tune in, enjoy, and we will see y'all next time on The Collision. Thank you. Goodbye. Mwah. And good night. Bang.